Are you all ready? Did you miss it? I didn't miss it. But if you did miss it, we about to do the review of the GodLogic Hamza debate. But before that, there's only one way that we can get this audience fired up for today's live stream. And that's with our wonderful video from our dear sister Connie. Hit it away.
2, 1, live.
We back. That's right. That's right. So some of you may have missed it. Some of you may have not. If anybody did miss it, you don't want to miss today. So we had last night on Friday during GodLogic's live stream, we had GodLogic walking in to the lion's den. That's right. He went into Hamza's den and he walked out, and they weren't nothing but a bunch of kittens on over there. And the first thing that I want to say before we get into this is I want everybody to, while you're watching this, this is what really, I started laughing something awful when I really caught on to what was going on. What's going on here, and I want everybody to pay attention to the facial expressions on Hamza when Logic is talking with the other Muslims. Just try, it's hilarious. But what we're going to do, we're going to review the GodLogic versus Hamza video last night. So let's get right into it. What up, Logic? How you doing, man? I know he may not be here. I'm just saying what up to him on the video. So here he pops into the Hamza live stream, and Hamza drops him down quickly because, you know, sometimes it's an AI, sometimes it could be, you know, doing other things and whatnot. So he brings it back up. But anyway, let's watch it here.
Oh, no.
He literally said, "Oh, no." The first thing they said when Logic entered there, as soon as he saw him, "Oh, no." You're right. That is one expression that you're going to have. Because get ready for what's about to happen.
It's an AI. No,
I don't know if that was him though. Some guy might have like trying to do a dodginess. We'll see. Yeah, you here?
Yeah, it's me.
Good man.
Oh, okay. Oh, good man. Yeah.
I'm not here to do no weird stuff.
No. There's
well, we wouldn't know
videos and then put porn on.
That is true. That's weird.
Hey, Fawad, you may want to stop. We all know Logic is not one of those people that come on and even blaspheme your one-legged God. So let's start this stream off nice, Fawad. I didn't want to jump in on you at the start. But if you come at my man's Logic one more time like that, oh, it's on. I'm just saying.
All right, fellas. So I do have a question. Thanks for letting me on. I have a question. Good to see everybody. So my question to the panel today is, do you believe that Allah could have a son?
And actually, before we start in here, I'm going to back it up so we get the whole question of what Logic does say. But if anyone's ever seen Hamza's Den before, what you have is roughly about 3 or 4 Muslims up on the panel that are supposed to be knowledgeable Muslims, right? And they're supposed to be able to take on any comers that come into the arena. That's the objective of this arena. Normally, when Christians walk in, they're a little timid, right? Because it's a little, sometimes it's a little off-putting when you want to go in and you want to, let's say, have a discussion with Hamza, and then there's 3 other people trying to jump in. Sometimes you get a little confuddled, and sometimes it's a little overwhelming and things like that. But I want everybody to watch how Logic acts and how he talks. It's almost like he just woke up and he went down and he's about to have a conversation with his family. Like, that's how comfortable he is in this situation. It's almost like he's sitting there just having a conversation with the rest of his family. Yeah, what's going on, y'all? What's going on? Hey, how's your day today? This is the type of mood that Logic puts himself in when he gets into this type of situation. So that's just something to keep an eye on as well.
Son, if you want it.
Why does he need to have a son?
No. There's
Well, we wouldn't know.
Videos and then put porn on.
That is true. That's weird. All right, fellas. So I do have a question. Thanks for letting me on. I have a question. Good to see everybody. So my question to the panel today is, do you believe that Allah could have a son if he wanted?
Why does he need to have a son?
I didn't say he needs to. I asked if he can, if he wanted to.
I'm asking a question in return.
Like, is that a problem with Muslims? Do y'all see the problem that we have with Muslims? Logic simply asked a question. Could let me go in here. Let me help you out, Fawad. Could. All right. So, could Allah have a son, Fawad? Was the question. You notice how Muslims love to change the question that you ask them? So I'm going to ask you about a question that you're asking me a question about. So that's how Muslims work it out. Exactly, Danny Davis. Exactly. All right, Fawad. Since you wanted to be number 1, out of everyone on stage, you wanted to be the one to speak up. Well, you, sir, are going to have to be made an example of. So in a discussion like this, y'all, the first person that's going to step up in this discussion, he's the one that believes that he's going to take you down, right? So if there was me, Logic, Black Doctor, and we were sitting in a live stream, a Muslim come in, and he asked a question. Let's say the Black Doctor spoke up and was going to answer him, right? The Black Doctor, as soon as he speaks up, he's taking control. Be like, I got this, guys. Let me at him. Let me at him. Right? And of course, me and Logic would be like, all right, yeah, you got him. No problem. You spoke first. You take it. It's all you. Right? So that's what these Muslims do with Fawad. Fawad's like, I got him. I got him. And those Muslims are, all right, Fawad. All right, Fawad, you want him, you got him. So we're going to get Fawad versus our man's Avery. And let's see who's going to come out on top on this one. Before we do, we got our man's Jason Casper down in the audience. God bless you, Jason Casper. Salam Alaikum. I hope that your family is well, and I hope that Yeshua is blessing them mightily. He says, blessings to you and the family, dropping $200 on the chat this evening. Thank you so much, Jason. God bless you, my dear brother. Wow. But that's Jason. That's what Jason does. Thank you so much, dear brother. God bless you. All right, let's get into it. We got Logic and we got Fawad. Fawad, do you have what it takes to go at the sheikh of the original Quran-only Christians? Fawad, do you have what it takes? Let's see it.
Can you please answer that?
I did. I said I didn't say he needed one, and I don't think he needs one. I'm asking, could he if he wanted to?
And what do you mean by the term son?
In any sense.
So please describe to me.
Any
What do you mean by the
whether
term son?
adopted, whether of his own nature, whatever.
So the Islamic position is in the past it could have been used. Just like, do you guys not believe in abrogation?
No. So
You guys don't believe in abrogation?
No, you're saying that Allah could have had a son in the past?
Yes, it's possible.
What do you mean by son?
Whoa, any sense?
Any sense?
Oh, okay. Tell us the senses you're referring to. Are you talking about
anything
biological?
adopt. I don't think he's
Metaphorical?
Allah says in the Quran, Allah says
any
in
sense.
chapter 39, verse 4, if Allah had intended to take a son, he could have chosen from what he created, whatever he wrote. Exalted is he is Allah, the one, the prevailing. Well, that's end of story.
Yeah.
Hey, I will have to pause it here, though. If everybody does see the super chat on GodLogic stream, it says from Manny Burgos, of course. Salam Alaikum to you, Manny. Much love to you and your family out there as well. Now, I'm going to call you out on this one, Manny, because it seems like you a false prophet in this one. It almost seems like you a false prophet in this one. He says, Avery going to get kicked in 4 minutes. He was on there for 40. That's all I'm saying. He's going to be gone in 4 minutes, but he was on there for 40. No, I'm just joking with you, Manny. I would have made the same assumption as well, only because when you have somebody like Logic on your stage, you probably don't want to keep him up there. The Shubahat is way too real at that point in time. Yeah, he just missed a 0. That's right. We'll give Manny the benefit of the doubt, and that Manny actually meant to put the 0 in there. But that's right, Chloe. Allah abrogated the 0 out of the message. That's what it was. So therefore, he's still a prophet. All right, Manny, you're still a prophet. All right, let's get it.
So he could have a son if he wanted to.
But in the past, so this is the position of some of the ulama. Like, for instance, Ibn Taymiyyah says that this could have been used in the past. This could have been used in the past, but that does not take you outside of the bounds of Islam. You believe in abrogation. Hosea 2:16 says what? There was a name, the Lord, Baal, that was used in the past. Yes or no? By Israel. And God says you're not supposed to use that name anymore. From now on, you're supposed to refer to me as my husband. Do you believe in abrogation? Yes or no?
Yeah, but where does so hold on.
I have a question. Engage.
I'm trying
my man,
you're pressing, but I'm trying to. You're cutting me off
yes.
already. Can I respond?
So I asked a question. Do you believe in abrogation?
Am I able
yes
to
or no?
respond to you? Am I able to respond?
You're not responding. You're waffling.
You cut me off the moment I spoke.
Give an opportunity to respond.
And you know, I give Hamza. I do give him a little bit of I do go at him a little bit on this channel. I do throw a little bit of shade his way and whatnot, and I think it's fair. But but I'm also going to say when he does things well as well. So here at this point, he said, hey, let's let him have an interaction. Let's let him speak. So he's telling Fawad to let logic answer. Right. So all right, Hamza, we acknowledge that. You're trying to further the conversation. We see that. We respect that. All right, we got it. Now, maybe Fawad, you know what it is, everyone. I'm just going to go out here and say it. Fawad is debating his idol. Right now, Fawad is a little fanboy. Fawad is one of GodLogic's little logics in his audience. That's what it is. That's what it is. Right? So when you get in there with somebody that you have so much admiration for, like he's such in love with GodLogic right now, right? That he won't even let logic speak. He's so excited, right? But we got Mr. Logic in the chat. He says, I'm at the barbershop, so I can't hear anything, but I wish I was up there with you. Hey, I didn't even send you the link, did I? Although it's not like the link isn't already in the description, but I'm going to send it to you personally to your phone anyway, just in case afterwards you want to pop up here, you want to show everybody your fresh new cut. All right, we got no problem taking a few seconds out here. All right, Mr. Avery, you've got the StreamYard link sent to you for whenever you're done your haircut. Come on up if you would like to. You know that you're more than welcome. And then he throws a super sticker in there as well. Salam alaikum, my dear brother. You know I love you much. Much love to you, Lady Logic, Mama Logic, Dad Logic, and all my cousin Logics down there as well. Salam alaikum to all the family down there. God bless you, brother. All right, so let's get back to this and let's see. Let's see if Fawad has got what it takes to take on the logic, man. Let's get it.
You invited him here.
Go ahead.
Let give him an opportunity to respond.
Thank you. So pointing to something that Israel was calling God is different from pointing to something where God himself applies a title to himself and allows that himself. So what you're pointing to is where God is addressing a title that Israel was calling them. I have no problem. Let me end the point. I have no problem with what you're saying, that if God, God allowed them to call him something one time, but then say, you no longer call me this, you call me this now. I have no problem with that. Okay. Can you show me that example in Islam where Allah says that, yes, he was a father one time, but then now he's not?
Okay.
I don't have to.
First of
Oh,
all,
you don't have to. Okay.
first and foremost,
You don't have to. That's your argument. Like, what do you mean you don't have to? Did he not just use the abrogation argument as his argument to get away from it? He's using the abrogation argument to say, yeah, Allah could have been a father way back in the Old Testament and stuff like that, but he abrogated it, and now we can't. So Logic's question is very valid. And why is that question very valid? Because the definition of abrogation is that Allah would cause the verse to be forgotten and would send a verse that would be better or similar to it. So you would see the abrogation and the similar, and so it would show where Allah actually abrogated his YouTube caps how much you can super chat per 24 hours. That's crazy, eh? I didn't realize that YouTube caps how much that you can actually donate. But anyway, so this is the whole problem that Fawad has got himself into, and this is why Logic is pushing on it. So everybody to pay attention into this point right here. Whenever they bring up the abrogation to you, you just smile just like Logic is right now. You just throw that big old smile out at them, and then you give them this answer too.
Why is that funny?
Because he brought this example trying to allude that there's evidence of so-called abrogation, that this gives evidence that, you know, once God was allowed this, or this was allowed, this was permissible one time, but now it's not.
No,
So
I did not say that. I said it could have been
the Bible.
Avery. Comprehension, please.
I think you're not comprehending
What did I say? No.
Okay.
You're strawmanning my position.
All right, go ahead. Say it again.
Okay. I said it could have been used. Doesn't mean it must have been used. Okay. Even if it were used, it would not take you outside the bounds of Islam. Just as a Muslim, we believe. I don't know if you heard when we were engaging with the previous callers, right? Okay. So now who's interrupting?
No, I just got here. I didn't hear what happened before.
Oh, okay. All right.
Bro,
So
it doesn't matter about interruption.
Yeah.
You mean,
Okay. So when
moderated
we're
debate.
talking about the crucifixion, as Muslims today, we cannot affirm that crucifixion happened. We deny it. But in the first, like right before the advent of Islam, in those 570 or 600 years or so, if you actually believe that Jesus died or was crucified, it would not take you outside of the bounds of Islam.
Got you.
That is the Islamic position.
I got you. So what you're saying is that once upon a time, it may have been that Allah allowed for people to refer to him as father, that he truly was their father in some correct sense, right? But then now in the event of Islam, he abrogates that and says no more, maybe due to people misinterpreting that, misusing that. And so he cancels that out. Okay. So when you say that that may have been the case, where are you getting it from? What's your evidence that it may have been that Allah was okay with calling himself father back in the day?
Again, it's like talking to a wall, man. What did I say?
Did I miss something? Did you all catch something and I missed it? Is that the response that he's got to Avery? Oh, I got to back this one up. Oh, I got to back this one up for sure. I want you to listen how Avery puts this together, and then I want you to listen to the response afterwards. All right, let's back it up. All right, Avery. Do your thing, Avery.
That Allah allowed for people to refer to him as father, that he truly was their father in some correct sense, right? But then now in the event of Islam, he abrogates that and says no more, maybe due to people misinterpreting that, misusing that. And so he cancels that out. Okay. So when you say that that may have been the case, where are you getting it from? What's your evidence that it may have been that Allah was okay with calling himself father back in the day?
Again, it's like talking to a wall, man. What did I say?
You said it may have been.
It would have been used.
Yeah, what's your evidence?
It's not affirmed because we have our scholars telling us, just like how I gave you the example of.
So it may have been, y'all. It may have been that Muhammad was a woman. It may have been Muhammad was a woman. And if a Muslim asks me, where's my evidence? You just not listening. You are not listening, Muslims. I said Muhammad could have been a woman. Muhammad could have been a woman. I don't need evidence to say that. I don't believe evidence. I don't have to have evidence to make these claims. This Muslim, this Mu'minun just said, I do not have to have evidence when I make my claim. Maybe, Danny. Hey, my brother threw suckling down there. He got it. It's the religion of maybes. Yeah, maybe the semen on Muhammad's clothing was his. Maybe it was his boyfriend's, right? Maybe there was only 50 jinn, but maybe there were 100 jinn that were riding him all night long, right? It is a religion of maybes. I would agree with that, Danny Davis. I do agree with that, my dear brother. And we also had Manuel Morales with the super chat in there as well. Salam Amasi. I hope that your family is blessed and well taken care of, and that Yeshua, our King, is blessing you and your family mightily. He says, good to see you on, sir. May God continue to bless you and your ministry. I will be back for the next couple weeks. I'm going to try to do as many live streams in the next couple of weeks as I can. Then starting in the new year I'm hoping that it's only going to be about 6 or 7 months. I'm going to be going live at least once a week. I've been able to talk to Logic a little bit, and Logic's given me a little bit of information, helping me out here and there on certain things. So I believe that I'll be able to do at least one video or a live stream once a week. But I just actually, yesterday was my last day of work for a couple of weeks. So yesterday was my first day of holidays for the Christmas break. So I was like, hey, for the first 2 days of Christmas break, there ain't nothing better to do than jump online and let's talk to the people out there in YouTube land. And I think also that if I'm going to be joining a TikTok live stream, like even later on tonight, if I join one of my brother's live streams, usually it's the word night, right? Usually it's the word, like we'll send him a message about a half hour before he even decides to go live. And we're like, hey, brother, we waiting for you to go live, man. Like any one of us could go live, but we're sitting there waiting for the word and I to go live. So if the word and I or somebody else goes live tonight and I join them or any of the nights this week, I'm also going to go live if they don't, just so that you can get some of the going live. See, that's what I mean right there. See, he already knows what's going on. He's on a time clock. And it's not even just me. Like Paul Bishop will put into the text, hey, the word night, where are you? I've been looking for you. Or it'll be Avery. Avery will put in the text. He'll be like, hey, word night, you know what time it is? Why are you live? Like, we all know there's a specific time the word night is supposed to be live. But hey, with him supporting me out here, we can't give him too much trouble. But if he is live and I'm with him later, I'm going to try to give you a little bit more content, some of the TikTok that I'm into as well. So this week and next week, you may see me every day. You may see me every day. But hey, that is enough about me. Let's get back into logic.
Of the crucifixion.
So there's no
That
evidence.
it will not take you outside of the bounds of Islam. We believe in abrogation, just as you believe in abrogation. Do you not believe that Jesus came and he abrogated dietary laws? Do you not believe that he abrogated sacrificial laws?
When there's abrogation, for example, means that you have a ruling that existed, and then a ruling comes later and gives you the new updated ruling on this topic, right?
You can extend this to so many things.
Wait. I got you. So my question is, Fawad, do you have anything that says that back then there was a ruling where Allah was a no? Okay, so thank you.
And I don't need to have it.
Well, you do.
Wait, one second. Let me just understand something. I'm trying to understand your argument, mate.
Let me pause it here, because I do have Issa down in the backstage, and so Issa Kabir, I'm going to bring you up, Issa. How you doing, my brother? Oh, there it is. You okay? I'm going to take it away. Just makes. All right. So Issa Kabir, how you doing, my brother?
I'm doing great, brother. I watched this debate, and it's just Salafi nonsense. That's what it is. I'm sorry.
You made a comment though, and I want you to enlighten everybody on this, because I had the same thought in my head when he was saying this. So in the chat, you said he does not understand Christian theology, it's not abrogation. Can you go ahead and explain what's going on here?
Yeah, from my limited understanding, I'm not an expert of anything or anything. I try to be as humble as I can, but my understanding of Christian theology is when we look at the New Testament, first of all, there's a covenant for the Israelites. It's not a covenant for everyone. This is a covenant that these laws are bound to the Israelite people. In this covenant. In the New Testament, there's another covenant that comes because Christ has now fulfilled the law. So we have to understand the some of the Jewish law, this Jewish customs and traditions. There's a day, a holy day called Yom Kippur, the Day of Atonement.
Yep.
And we see that in the Day of Atonement, the Israelites would have a goat and they would have a lamb. They would sacrifice the lamb, and then the sin would go on the goat, and they would release the goat because it's a day that you're supposed to atone.
Yep.
Christ becomes the Lamb of God. Christ is the Lamb, and so Christ is sacrificed for all of the sins for all of humanity. That's the purpose, and you have to really understand Jewish theology to get this. Unfortunately, Muslims are very, very ignorant on Jewish theology and Christian theology. They don't understand any of this stuff. So when they say this, what they're doing is imposing their own theology. They're imposing the theology of abrogation, which I think is deeply problematic in of itself. The idea that
it's hugely problematic in itself. I agree with you.
Because it is contradictory. You can't say the Bible is contradictory and then say, well, abrogations are fine. I'm like, no, you don't get to just make your own standard of theology and make everyone follow it. There's this the abrogation is basically like, well, Muslims were allowed to drink alcohol, which actually makes sense because the Israelites were allowed to drink alcohol until the point of being drunk. You're not supposed to get drunk, but you're allowed to drink, right? Like you could have a drink wine, but you can't get drunk. So that makes sense. It actually is interesting. The Islamic law does continue that. You see that is the situation. But then people were drinking too much and they came to some prayers inebriated. So basically all alcohol was banned. So it's really weird when Muslims say, oh, alcohol is such a bad thing. And I'm like, you do realize the prophets would have drinking alcohol. Like that's because it's not illegal.
Right. And it almost makes Islam, when it comes about being a religious thing, it almost makes it agree that Judaism and Christianity before Islam would have had alcohol but not be able to get drunk.
Yes.
Because Muhammad allowed it at the start, them being religious, right? So it seems that the Jews and the Christians of the area probably would have been drinking, not heavily, but lightly in the area, of course, right?
Exactly. That is exactly the point. So that's the thing. That's the ruling. So what happens is then it was abrogated and said, oh, now we can't drink at all. So I think Muslims have to come with humility. The Salafi TikTokers and YouTubers really are extremely arrogant. They're very arrogant. They come in, they're going to mock Christianity, they're going to mock Judaism, they're going to mock the Bible. And then they have this problem where they keep saying, well, some of it's true, some of it's not. I'm like, I sent you the paper on Tahrif, particularly on Tahrif Anas, which is textual corruption. It is a phenomenally devastating theological position to take. I don't think these people understand the fallout, and they all repeat it. It's like all of them are Salafis. Every Muslim I keep seeing on YouTube and TikTok are Salafis, and they all repeat the same mantra, which is the Bible is corrupted, the New Testament's corrupted. If you take that position through its fruition and say it's corrupted, you don't have a continuity. You can't say you're continuing from the previous tradition. You basically have an utter collapse. You say God is weak. God does not know what's happening. Humankind can destroy God's words. It's so utterly devastating that they don't even understand the implication of taking this position. I agree. Yeah,
I agree. Now, what I am going to do, though, Isa, is I will thank you for joining me, though. I'm just bringing you up for now. What I may do tomorrow, though, is to do like a overall of how people thought of the debate between Avery and Hamza. And I'm going to try to bring up all of the people from Telegram, and I'll send you a message. I'll send you the link in StreamYard if you got time. and we'll do a big stream tomorrow and let everybody talk about what good points were there, what they did, and things to that nature. If you're willing to do that.
Well, thank you for having me up. I will come to the YouTube chat and I will chat with everyone there. Thank you for having me up on stage. I'm glad that was something that I think is really important to share. So thank you. Have a blessed day.
No problem. God bless you. All right. That was Isa Kabir, y'all. We may have him back up here tomorrow. Again, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if Isa is. I'm not even going to say. I'm going to just leave it out there. I'm going to leave it out there right now. We'll talk to Isa tomorrow. We'll get Isa up here because he's got a little bit to say about these Muslims out there. All right, boom. We got Logic back up here. Back to the review. So Muslims have no idea what abrogation is, and stop imposing your view onto our text, please. I done schooled Central on this very same argument. Don't make Logic do it to you too.
All right. So are you saying because Allah isn't referred to as Father, then he can't be the God of the New Testament?
No.
Is that what you're saying? That's
No.
not what you're saying. Okay, okay. What are you saying?
Yeah, I'm curious to see where you're going to
Yeah, I'm trying to understand what you're saying.
You said a lot of stuff, and I don't.
Actually,
It's a lot of vague and ambiguous.
I want to understand the point.
Yeah, I got you. So,
Good man.
okay. So I asked, this actually wasn't my point.
Yeah, we know what you asked. We're trying to
So
understand why.
Yeah. So I was asking whether or not Allah, if he wanted to, could he have a son?
Yeah, and
Now,
Yemeni
Fawad-
got you the verse.
Fawad
One second, bro. 1 second. Yemeni answered you with the Quran. Allah said he could if he
I
wanted.
want to know what he understood from that.
Yeah. Let's do it that way.
Hey guys, everybody in the chat right now, I want you to tell me the honest to God truth. The honest to God truth. In the next 15 to 20 seconds of this video, does Hamza and Yemeni disagree with one another? Check this out.
Okay.
Yemeni
So
gave
we're
you the
leaving
response.
Fawad's point.
So Yemeni give you a response
Okay.
from the Quran where
All right.
Allah says. So how do you understand that verse?
All right. So it looks like that Allah, if he wanted to, he can have a son.
Right.
No.
So you understand it that way.
That's what it says.
Right. Okay. So does that answer your question?
Well, I mean, Yemeni looks like he
Does
just.
that answer your question?
Yemeni looks like he disagrees with my understanding. Like,
Does it answer your question though?
I think it does, but
So
Yemeni
your question was, could Allah have a son?
if he wanted.
Allah says, and then Allah give you a verse in the Quran said he could, but khalas. All right. So
Yeah.
that answers.
So there you go. Khalas. Done. Khalas done. So Hamza is saying, Logic asked the question, could Allah have a son? Hamza saying, Yemeni give you the answer. It says, yes, he could. If he wanted to have a son, he could have a son. But I just want to back it up here. Just 1 second. Just 1 second here. How do we see Yemeni's face here? Right? Isn't he doing one of these? Isn't it one of these? The last time. Hey, if I'm really proud of my son, like I was at my son's wrestling tournament last week, right? And he was doing a really amazing job. I was out there, I was cheering for him, I was video recording for him. I was like telling him, hey, hit this move, hit that move. I was right in there. I was like one of them hockey moms at this thing. But could you imagine if I was sitting there and my son looked over and saw me doing this? Could you imagine? Could you imagine? Hey, all you Christians out there that love Avery, could you imagine you guys are in the middle of an argument with a Muslim? Imagine that you were in the middle of an argument with a Muslim, and you thought you were giving it to him. You thought you was giving it to him. And all of a sudden, you look to the side, and you saw GodLogic sitting over there doing this. You know he ain't happy. You know he ain't happy. Yemeni, what's going on, my friend? We just gonna talk like this the rest of the day, Yemeni? Is this how we doing it, brother? I was just saying, hey, Yemeni knew. It's exactly right. Yemeni knew what was gonna happen, and I think Jabril come down and he done choked and squeezed that man and shook him and give him the wahi of about what was about to happen on this live stream. I just wanted to stop there for a minute. Now I want everybody's opinion before we continue on. Is Yemeni agreeing with Hamza or disagreeing with Hamza? Which one is it? Because I'm pretty sure Avery's right on this one. I think that Avery and Hamza have an understanding, but I don't think Yemeni has that same understanding that Logic and Hamza have. Maybe that's just me. Maybe that's just me though. Right? All right. What do you got down here? No. This is not an no deity. This is not an open panel. This is actually a reaction. It was my bad. It was probably my fault. No, I have a guy backstage called No Deity. So if y'all are wondering why I say No Deity, it's because of the person backstage. So I'm not really having people up tonight. I basically put that link out into the chat for any of my original Quran only Christian brothers or sisters. So, like the Word Nye, Chloe, Lady Logic, you got GodLogic, you got Black Doctor, you got my big brother Scott, one of my milk brothers, and you got my other milk brother, the Hafiz, Danny Davis, you got Jay and DOC, you got Paul Bishop, you got our boss, the Christian Table Talk as well. So, he's an atheist who wasted he wasted your time. All right, No deity, peace out. I'm just gonna kick you from the studio. There's no point in you even being here. You want to waste my brother's time. Oh, you just gonna get kicked from my side. I'm just saying. We got you on lock over here, Logic. We got you on lock over here. Anybody disrespecting you over on that stream, they ain't even allowed to talk on this stream. All right, back to the review.
Well, Yemeni looks like he
Does
just
that answer your question?
Yemeni looks like he disagrees with my understanding. Like,
Does it answer your question though?
I think it does, but Yemeni
The question was, could Allah have a son?
If he wanted.
Allah says, and then Allah give you a verse in the Quran said he could, but khalas. All right. So
Yeah.
that answers your question, yeah?
I had a follow up with that, but
That's
Yemeni,
fine. But
it
you
looks
understand
like
that?
Yemeni disagrees.
Read the whole verse. What does it say at the end of the verse?
Oh, did you catch it? Oh, did you catch it? Oh, did y'all catch it? I caught it. I'm not sure if y'all... Did you come back in here, No Deity? You literally clicked it again. So now I'll just ban you from my stream. But did y'all catch it? I ain't even going to tell you what y'all need to catch. But I'm going to just back it up here a little bit. And I want everyone to look at Hamza's facial expression when Yemeni says the first few words that he says. So don't worry about what Yemeni says. But when Yemeni speaks, I want you to look at Hamza's facial expressions. Are you ready? Here we go.
Could Allah have a son?
If he wanted.
Allah says, and then Allah give you a verse in the Quran said he could, but khalas. All right. So
Yeah.
that answers your question, yeah?
I had a follow up with that, but
That's
Yemeni,
fine. But
it
you
looks
understand
like
that?
Yemeni disagrees.
Read the whole verse. What does it say?
Oh, he just like he. Oh, he just lost it all. He give up life right there. He just give up life right there. Like, I heard the sigh in that. Like, did y'all hear? I got to back that up again. Again, watch Hamza. Watch Hamza on this one, y'all. This is hilarious.
It does, but
So
Yemeni's
the
like,
question
no,
was, could Allah have a son?
if he wanted.
Allah says, and then Allah give you a verse in the Quran said he could, but khalas. All right. So
Yeah.
that answers your question, yeah?
I had a follow-up with that, but
That's
Yemen,
fine, that's fine. But
it
you
looks
understand
like
that?
Yemeni disagrees.
Read the whole verse. What does it say at the end of the verse?
Oh, that is awesome. So what happened here? And I got to pause it here. Oh, I got to pause it here because I got to expose you just a little bit. I got to expose you just a little bit here, Hamza. Only a little bit, though. Not a lot. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. So, what's happening here is Hamza tried to get rid of the argument that logic was trying to implore, right? So logic was giving an argument, and what Hamza was doing is he was trying to tie up that argument real quick, and he was going to jump to something else. That's exactly what he was doing, is he was trying to end the conversation. Because if he could have said logic, so you ask, could Allah have a son? And Yemeni says Allah could if he had a mate. There you go. Boom. He could if he wanted to, right? He almost had logic. Logic, like, yeah, I think, me and you, we on the same page. Hamza, we on the same page on that verse. That's what the verse says. But as soon as Yemeni opened his mouth, Hamza's like, oh, no, you done did it now. Oh, no, you done did it now. Because now he knows that it opens up logic to now question this verse. And that is what Hamza did not want to happen. He did not want that to happen because he knows that when his little minions get into that discussion with logic, they end up turning into a meme. No word of a lie. Any of the people that have been talking to logic on Hamza or Bumsies or anybody else's channel, they done got turned into a meme. And that's what Hamza didn't want to happen. And that's what Hamza knows is about to happen. All right, let's get it. Look, hey, we 8 minutes in. We're only 8 minutes into this 40 minutes. We may have to do a half and half. We may do part 1 tonight and part 2 tomorrow. I'm not sure yet, but let's get back into this video.
Read the end of the verse. What does it say at the end of the verse?
So stop ponting off your comment section and answer the question, mate.
No, because he wants to punt off his question and his audience. Because his audience is bigger than yours, Hamza. Let's just talk reality, Hamza. Let's just talk reality. You had 800 people in that live before Logic showed up. When Logic left, you had almost 2,000 people in your live. You doubled the size of your audience just because Logic was on your stage. Not even just that. He had over 4,000 on his. So he had over 4,000 on his stream, and he can't sit there and he can't look at their chat and have a little dialogue with his chat. Yeah, he can. And you know why? Because Did anybody hear them say logic? I thought Yemeni was gonna have like Hamza read it or one of those other little boys read. I didn't know that they wanted Logic to read it. Let me just go back here again. Maybe I missed it. You know, Logic's my man. So hey, sometimes I'm a little biased, right? When it comes to hey, I'm gonna back it up. Maybe they said, hey, Avery or hey, GodLogic, can you read that? Maybe they said that. And let me back up here. All right.
I had a follow up with that, but
That's fine. That's
Yemeni,
fine. But
it
you
looks
understand
like
that.
Yemeni disagrees.
Read the whole verse. What does it say at the end of the verse? Read the end of the verse. What does it say at the end of the verse?
So stop pouncing off your comment section.
See, the whole time, I never once heard them say Logic. Logic had 6K. Oh, I'm dying with this one. Oh, I'm dying with this one. That's right. It was a miracle when Jesus fed the 5,000 with the fish and the manna from heaven. And today with the internet, GodLogic can cook 4 potatoes for 7,000 people. We got her now. Sorry about that. Just had somebody come into the room. All right. Let's get back to the debate.
And answer the question, mate. What are you doing?
Well, I thought y'all was reading it. I thought Yemeni
We're
had the
asking
verse.
you. We're asking you.
He's telling you.
Well, Yemeni brought the verse up. I thought he had it.
Pull it up. Do some respect. Give the man some respect if he did it if he gave you the reference.
Yeah,
pull it
you're
up.
right. Look, if y'all wanted me to read, I have no problem. That's all we do over
Yeah,
here.
let's read it. Read.
Okay, goodness gracious. All y'all had to do was say, hey, man, can you read the verse? I got you.
We did like 6 times, man.
I got you.
No, you idiot. Nobody said Logic's name. All you're, hey, and you Muslims, I don't want you trying to treat Logic like no Hebrew Israelite either in there. You don't just holler, read, and this man gets to reading. You ain't no Hebrew Israelite out there. He ain't your little reader of the room. But if you want him to read, he's got no problem with it. But all you just go, hey, Logic, would you mind go ahead and reading Surah this, ayat that? He'd be like, hey, I got you. No problem. You do know you're dealing with Sheikh. So he got no problem reading you the Quran. But just best believe he ain't no Hebrew Israelite. Let's get it.
All right, so 39-4. All right. So 39-4. Let's go ahead and bring this up. All we do is read around here, man.
All we do is read.
All right, so he says,
That's all
if Allah had intended to take a son, he could have chosen from what he creates, whatever he willed. Exalted is he. He is Allah, the one, the prevailing.
What does that tell you?
What? Nothing. Told me that he could have a son if he wanted.
No, it doesn't.
All right, so what is it supposed to tell me?
The opposite.
Oh, so according to this, he can't have a son if he wanted?
How is that the opposite of what? Let me go back here. Like, this is how dumb Muslims want us to be. And this is why you'll always see Logic be like, I used your words against you. Use their words against them, and they will deny using their very own words. Watch this.
Could have chosen from what he creates.
Could have.
Whatever he willed. Exalted is he. He is Allah, the one, the prevailing.
What does that tell you?
What? Nothing. Told me that he could have a son if he wanted.
No, it doesn't.
All right, so what is it supposed to tell me?
The opposite.
Oh, so according to this, he can't have a son if he wanted?
It's a sarcastic comment. to those
It's
who
a form of
are-
rhetoric. You should be a master at it. You know what I'm saying?
I am a rhetorical.
Okay, so why is this one
It's actually
stumping you? Are you getting
I am a
stumped by
rhetorical
Islam
master.
again?
I'm a rhetorical monster, mate.
No.
Okay, so why are you getting?
Oh, y'all, what? Hey, you all ain't laughing as hard as I am right now. And I'm laughing about as hard as Avery's laughing right now. As soon as that word rhetorical come out, oh, Avery remembered a video. Avery done remembered a certain short, actually, where the guy sitting right above him said that he was a rhetorical monster. Oh, Avery, man, that was classic. That comment right there, nah, mate, I'm a rhetorical monster. That is exactly what Hamza called him. Man, you're savage with these four. Oh, man, you were savage with these four.
So stumped? Is it because Islam just?
What are you
stumps
talking about stumped? I think that you guys are stumped by your own verse.
It's a perfect form of rhetoric.
All right, so let's calm it down. Guys, does this verse say that Allah can have a
I want to address the audience. I want to address you all right now. I want y'all to take a look at this live stream. Who's running the live stream? Who is running Hamza's Den's live stream right now? Avery's like, okay, guys, all right, guy, hey, over there in the corner. It'd be good. Sit down. Okay, everyone, take your places. Sit down. We got to keep control here. Okay, this is what we're doing, everyone. Like Avery just took control in his live. Avery is just taking control over Hamza in Hamza's own live. Let me show you that again. All right, Avery. Take control, brother. You take control.
rhetorical monster, mate?
No.
Okay, so why are you getting so stumped? Is it because Islam just?
What are you
stumps
talking about stumped? I think that you guys are stumped by your own verse.
It's a perfect form of rhetoric.
All right, so let's calm it down. Guys, does this verse say that Allah can have a son if he wanted?
Avery.
Is it a form of sarcastic
One second,
rhetoric?
Maurice.
It's not sarcastic, it's
Just let
hypothetical.
Yemeni deal with it. Just let Yemeni deal with it. 1 second.
Yeah, let Yemeni.
It is a rhetorical comment, okay, to address people like yourselves who ask these sort of questions. In fact, there is another verse in the same in Surah Al-Zukhruf, chapter 43, verse 81, where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he says, "Say, O Prophet, if the most compassionate, if the most merciful really had offspring, I would be the first worshipper." So that if Allah really had a son, then it would be obligatory upon the Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam to
You're darn
worship
right
the
it
son,
would be.
right? Because Allah has
That's
will have a
right.
son.
Right.
So this is actually in terms of looking at the Quran, tafsir al-Quran, the Quran, this is a direct correlation with the previous verse, showing that Allah does not have sons. If he willed to, he could have, but the problem, the point here is he never willed to in the first place.
Right.
Hence the low kana, okay, low. Low arad Allahu. Yeah, this word low is conditional, but at the end of the verse where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, huwa Allahu al-wahid al-qahhar, it says subhanahu, okay, this is making it very clear that Allah has never willed to have a son.
I got you. So I understand that, right? The Quran is very clear that Allah never willed.
I don't really have a comment here, y'all. I was just thinking Logic. Hey, thank you, Logic, for all the barbecuing you've been doing the last couple of days. Hey, this one's to you, brother. We got some chicken wings. We got some chicken wings over here, brother. Hey, cheers to you, brother. Thank you for all the barbecue you've been doing, Avery. I'm just saying, I'm enjoying this barbecue, brother. I'm enjoying it, brother. I want to thank you, Avery, for all the barbecuing. Thanks, brother.
To have a son. He didn't have a son, right? But my question wasn't about whether he wills to or not. Okay. My question was about his ability. Could he? Right. And so you brought up a good example where he hypothetically says, tells Muhammad, say, if, right? It's hypothetical. If Allah were to have a son, say you will be the first to worship him, right? If Allah had a son, he'd be worthy of worship. That's a hypothetical. It's a true statement within the hypothetical. So same here, we have another hypothetical scenario. He says, if Allah wanted to, he could have a son. He would have taken from any of his creation had he willed, right? So if he wanted to, he could have had a son. That's a hypothetical. So that's why this is my understanding. So my understanding based on this verse, and correct me if I'm wrong, that if Allah wanted to, in the hypothetical, if he wanted to, he could have a son. If he wanted to, but he doesn't want to, never did, and so he doesn't. Is that correct?
Yeah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is giving you the hypothetical that you are giving, right? And then squashing it in the same verse, right? So your hypothetical doesn't mean anything.
Well, okay, I got you. So Allah can have a son if he wanted to. Now, here's my follow-up question with this.
No. What kind of, okay. The thing is, you asked in what sense, okay? So Allah, even subhanAllah, even in the Quran, Allah will never give you what you want, right? Even when it comes to the hypothetical, it is never given as a begotten son of God, right? It is a son from creation, not something else, right? And you cannot say to us as Muslims that Jesus was just creation, right? So even in this,
What?
Allah gave,
I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. I got to back this up just a little bit. And I don't know how logic. How did you understand this, man, when you were listening to him the first time? Did you like replay it a few times in your head and then answer this clown? I need to go back. I need to see what he's saying here. Not too far, though. I don't want to listen to too much of that.
Right. It is a son from creation, not something else, right? And you cannot say to us as Muslims that Jesus was just creation.
Oh, so we can't say to Muslims that Jesus was just creation. I want to make sure that I heard that one correctly. I want to make sure I heard that. Everybody, let's see if we heard that correctly.
It is never given as a begotten son of God, right? It is a son from creation, not something else, right? And you cannot say to us as Muslims that Jesus was just creation, right? So even in this Allah gave, he doesn't even give you the satisfaction of including Jesus within this hypothetical.
Can you please, Avery, would you please go to chapter 19 and it's verses
Who are you?
91 through 93.
Who is this guy? Who is this guy speaking? Where he come from? What do you do? Just wake up? I didn't even hear that voice the whole time. Where'd that one come from? I was like, that ain't Yemeni. It didn't seem like Yemeni anyway. Right? I didn't know where it come from. We got Manny Burgos out there throwing out the $100 super chat, and he says, God bless you, brother Chris. May the Lord provide the path to your ministry. Salam alaikum. God bless Manny. I'm sure the Lord will definitely provide a path to my ministry. I've got no qualms about it right now. I'm just going to do what I need to do for my family at this point in time, and I'll allow God to have my back on the rest of the way. And then that's the way that me and my wife are looking at it now, is that I'll do what I need to do as a father and as a husband to my family, as a man of Christ. I'll do what I need to do. But I know God's got my back, And when he's ready to push me forward, I'm ready to be pushed forward. So that's the way we at right now. But thank you so much, Manny, and amen. I agree with you 100%. And I gotta say what's up to my man's JP Uncut up in the building. What's up, JP Uncut? Hey, if y'all don't know JP Uncut, I don't know what rock you've been hiding under the last little while. And if you ain't subscribed to JP Uncut, you better be. Me and JP, we've known each other for, a little while. We had our ins, we had our outs, and we back in again. So I just, if you haven't went over there and showed some love to JP Uncut, I need y'all to go over and hit a subscribe to that man right there. Definitely a very smart brother. And he's definitely very talented. If y'all saw the thumbnail that I have on my YouTube channel for this video tonight, that was made by no other than JP Uncut. He is the official thumbnail maker for the One Way Apologetics YouTube going forward. This man was the one that did the thumbnail. He did an amazing job. Thank you so much, JP, for helping a brother out. JP's always looking out for a brother. Like, if I could show you all the text messages that I've got from this brother in the last couple weeks, it's unreal. It's like him and Avery and the rest of them have been hitting me up. It's amazing. But anyway, enough about the Imam. Let's get back to the Sheikh.
We're familiar with those verses. It doesn't befit him to say that he has a son and, causes the earth and universe to rupture and,
Right.
he can only be a slave to Allah. Uh-huh.
So here's the issue, dude. You're trying to lay these, like, what I would consider syntaxical booby traps, and they're really just silly, right?
What do you mean? I'm just asking questions based on Allah.
No, you're asking questions that go completely against the knowledge and narrative of what the Quran is telling you comprehensively. You're asking a half truth and a whole lie. Yeah, because when you say something like, "Oh, could he do this?" and the answer is within the Quran, right? That it's not befitting for you to even ask that question.
Wait. Okay, tell me where in the Quran does it say it's not befitting for me to ask this?
Bro, you can ask whatever you want to ask.
But you just said it's not befitting.
It's not befitting for him to take a son, is what I'm telling you.
You told me that based on the Quran, it's not for permissible or befitting that I even ask this question.
No, that's not what I said.
Whoa.
It is not befitting.
Whoa. Hold on there, Scooter. Oh, we ain't mid-debate right now. We're able to go back in time in this video. Let's see who is let's see who is truthful. Bring your evidence if you be truthful, is what your Quran says. Mr. Murris, the Dawa Digest. Let me just scroll back here just a second, because you said that it was not befitting for even Avery to ask that question. So, who is being truthful? Was it Avery or was it the Muslim?
Yeah, because when you say something like, "Oh, could he do this?" and the answer is within the Quran, right? That it's not befitting for you to even ask that question.
Wait. Okay, tell me where in the Quran does it?
And just in case he says, "I didn't say it," let's hear it again.
Yeah, because when you say something like, "Oh, could he do this?" and the answer is within the Quran, right? That it's not befitting for you to even ask that question.
Wait. Okay, tell me where in the Quran does it say it's not befitting for me to ask this?
Bro, you can ask whatever you want to ask.
But you just said it's not befitting.
It's only like logic. I know that this man jumped in, so he deserves everything that he gets. Hey, That's on him. But did you really have to do him this bad, this quick, Logic? I'm just saying. Come on now.
It's not befitting for him to take a son, is what I'm telling you.
You
It's-
told me that based on the Quran, it's not for permissible or befitting that I even asked this question. Where did the Quran say that?
No, that's not what I said. I said that it is not befitting for him to take a son. Alhamdulillah, and by the mercy of Allah, he is showcasing your stupidity and just the embarrassment that you're bringing to the table here.
Yeah.
So logic, stupidity. Logic's embarrassment. But this man just exposed you in 20 seconds. 20 seconds it took you to back up from what you said. And again, remember what I said earlier, y'all. Remember what I said earlier. Use their words against them. When you use their words against them, they don't like it. This guy even actually tried to throw his own words under the bus. Come on, Muslims. Come on, you mu'minoons. Now, I've seen Muslims throw al-Tabari under the bus. I've seen Muslims throw Ibn Abbas under the bus. I've even seen Muslims throw Muhammad and Allah under the bus. But I ain't never seen a Muslim throw himself under the bus. When was the last time you seen a Muslim throw himself under the bus? I'm just saying, y'all. I'm just saying. This could be a first time for everything. He just done threw himself under the bus. You know, like, this is a dangerous man to be debating right now, Logic. When this man will throw himself under the bus, this man is a dangerous man to debate right now. Well, I hope one of his brothers better jump in here real quick and come save him on this one. Hey, Dawa Digest. I'm sorry you throwing yourself under the bus, but we got the evidence here, brother. Quit throwing yourself under the bus.
We're not going to look at things from your worldview, and you're trying to link the
Avery,
Quran.
I don't have anything to do with my worldview here.
You understood why?
Notice how quick. Hey, I just come back. We just come back to it. Hans is like, no, gay guys, come on now, okay, guys, hey now, whoa. He's like, I need a little piece of this now because y'all are failing. So Hamza, you gonna try to take over? Let's get it.
He just said what he said because you knew the verse.
Yeah, I
Allah's
did.
already responded. So your question is like, we know that you know the answer to the questions you're asking.
Can I tell you why I asked it?
Yes.
Okay.
This right here. This, let me do that. This right here. This right here. This is why you Muslims don't want to test logic. This is why I warned you. All right, Logic. You go ahead and you tell them, Logic. You fill these Muslims in.
The reason why I asked.
Please do. That's why I asked you about 10 minutes ago.
Let me be real. Let me be real with you guys. I honestly, and this isn't me like bragging about myself.
Not at all.
I know the Quran more than anybody on this panel. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
right.
I know the Quran. And so what I'm saying is that whenever I talk to a Muslim, I get different.
That's why you missed
Hey. And that ain't Logic saying it either, y'all. That ain't Logic saying it either. We was on Clubhouse, and the Muslims, they was talking in a room. Well, the Muslims didn't know that it was being recorded. And on that recording, the Muslim, one of the main Muslims in the room, said that Avery knows more about the Quran than 99% of Muslims in the world today. He literally said that Avery knows more about the Quran and Islam than 99% of Muslims today. No, Hamza said Avery was good at it, but there was another guy on Clubhouse that said that he knew more than 99% of Muslims on what the Quran says. So it's not Avery, it's you Muslims saying it. It's you Muslims saying it.
Waffle.
Respectfully.
Dude.
I'm
We're not
glad
you
interested in
guys
waffle.
spoke.
We're
I
not
didn't
interested.
interrupt.
We're not
Please,
interested. I don't care
2
about
seconds.
interruption.
I
Okay.
didn't interrupt.
We're not interested in your rhetoric.
I'm not.
Okay.
I'm just giving
Tell us
you
the
an
point. We're
answer.
not. You think you know more Quran than anyone on this
I'm
panel.
trying to tell you.
Okay. All right.
That's-
Whenever I ask,
that's
Yeah,
I
we're
get
irony.
different answers from the Muslims. So I have
Okay.
to. I need to be
No, you
fair.
don't need to.
Listen, I need to be fair
No,
to
you
your
don't need to.
position before I argue something you don't hold to.
I'll say it again to you.
Mm.
You can make whatever claim you want. We don't mind. Your audience might fall for that. We don't care. Okay. We're
It's
not going
not
to
me
bite
that
on
says
that.
it, Muslims
We're not going to
say
bite
it.
on it either. Just tell us your point.
Okay, so can I ask my follow-up question?
Before
Yes.
you answer, just answer this real
Look,
quickly.
every time I'm getting ready to, Hamza, somebody jump
Real
in.
quickly.
What do you want?
Avery, real quick,
This is
real
your
quick,
your show, Hamza. I'm following you, man.
real
Yeah, welcome
quick,
to the
real
arena.
quick, bud. He made a claim. He says that he knows the Quran more than anybody on this panel,
Yeah.
right?
Don't bite
Avery,
on Maurice.
how
Maurice,
much-
don't bite
how
on
much
that.
Don't
Don't
Eric-
bite
bite
on
on
it,
that.
Maurice. Bite on it.
Yeah, bite on it, Maurice. Bite on it, Maurice. Come on, you chase that red herring down. You do it.
Maurice, don't
Bite.
bite on that. Leave that.
No, please. It's
No, man,
easy.
we got a clear
Leave
rookie on the
it.
show. We got a
It's
clear
easy,
rookie on the panel.
Let
Go ahead
the
and bite on it,
Maurice
Maurice.
Learn,
Leave it.
Hamza.
Okay.
Yes.
Make
Let
a
the
point.
rookie learn.
Watch
Bite
him
on
get
it.
smashed by a rookie. So check this out.
No,
How much
he's
Arabic do you
biting,
actually
Hamza.
know?
And he's still
No,
going to go
Maurice,
on.
forget that. It's a red herring.
I
go.
know it's a red herring, but I
Leave it
wanna-
then. Leave the red herring at the door. Leave the logical fallacies at the door.
Sure.
Right. He's
Sure.
going to tell us his.
Y'all see what's going on right now. You all see what's going on right now. You see what our man's is eating up there. You see that he's got his popcorn with him. Why does Avery got his popcorn with him? Because he done started a mubahala on a Muslim live stream. And all he had to do was show up. Hamza's now getting mad at Maurice because he won't shut up. You remember? You remember when me and Logic, when we tell you guys when you're in a discussion, you need to keep those blinders on, right? Like the horses out in the traffic, like you got to keep them blinders on. So you can't see those things that they're trying to slide past. You need to stay focused on that argument you have in your head, and you need to stay focused on it, right? Muslims are going to try those big old Hail Marys, right? They're going to try that big old Hail Mary to try to get away from your argument. But you got to stay locked in. You just got to watch that ball go over. Just wave at it. And then turn back to them and get right back into your point, right? Maurice isn't doing that. Maurice definitely ain't doing that. So, if y'all want to see, look at Hamza's face here. Everyone get a good look at Hamza's face. This is exactly the face of someone that is disgusted with his brother for continuing after a red herring. So if y'all see mere logic, if mere logic give you one of these faces, oh, you know you done did it then. Oh, you know you in trouble then. All right, let's get back to it. Let's get back to logic cooking. What do we got here? Wow, we still got 30 minutes. We may do another 5 minutes, and then we may have to do part 2 tomorrow. I may have to try to get Logic up here with me tomorrow for part 2, though. But let's get it.
Point. So he knew
Yeah,
the answer to his question. So now we're trying to understand why he's asking the question. So tell us. Make your point.
All right. So my next question to follow up is, since we know that Allah could have a son if he wanted to, Could he do it by himself, or would he need help?
Refer to the previous verse.
Is that
That's
a yes? He can have a son by himself, or no? He can't have
See
a
all
son
these
by himself?
presuppositions,
The
assumptions.
thing is, the
I just asked. I asked a question.
I only asked a question. You see, Avery's in it. I just asked a question. That was it. I just simply ask, hey, don't come at me. You want to see why he's doing that, y'all? Look at Hamza. Hey, Hamza, how you doing, man? How you doing, Hamza? You having a rough day over there? Yeah, I know. It's a pretty rough day when Avery shows up, hey, Hamza. I understand that, man. You may as well just keep your head down. Just keep your head down the rest of the show and just keep that pose the rest of the show. Because you know when you mess with our shake, oh, you're going to get it. Oh, you're going to get it. And this is what happens when our shake comes to see you at your live stream. All right. Hey, Logic. All right. Do it to him some more, brother.
I didn't ask. I didn't presuppose anything.
That's a loaded question, bro.
How's
That's
it
a
loaded?
loaded, as if you just ignored everything we just told you.
So deal with the question. Stop complaining about it.
Okay.
You got questions?
Okay. Let's go back to 15 minutes ago. I asked you, what do you mean by son? You said any sense of
Any sense.
adopted or whatever. Okay. Could Allah take a son and say, this is my son by himself? Yes.
So he can't have a son by himself.
Yes.
Okay. So the reason why I would go.
I know why.
We just went. Let me go ahead and get this up here. I went live at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's now almost 8 o'clock. We've been doing about an hour and a half review right now. And we finally have a Muslim that said if Allah wanted to have a son, yes, he could have one. It took these Muslims 18 minutes of arguing back and forth with Avery to say, you know what, Avery? Yeah, that verse is saying exactly what you said it did. It took them 8 minutes of arguing to agree with a Christian. Come on, guys. You got to do better than this, Muslims. You got to do better than this. All right. Listen, hey, if Hamza's jumping in here, let's see how Hamza does here.
What you're asking? I know what you're asking. Well, Allah says in the Quran, has he taken a consort? We know what you're asking, bro. You think
let's make sure that we get the verse correctly. The verse says that he's the originator of the heavens and the earth. How can he have a son when he has no mate?
That's important, y'all. That is important. How can Allah have a son if he has no mate? That is important too. And you're going to hear why it's so important coming up.
Okay. So this is showing that Allah has an inability to have a son without help. How do you guys solve this?
I can't, bro. I mean,
Saying that you can't is not an argument.
No. I just can't, dude.
I really want to hear Fawad. Fawad, what do you have to say?
Your worldview, bro. Even from
I would love to
get a son without a mate.
if they allow me.
Get a son without a mate. Please tell me.
Okay,
Can God just like God cannot have a husband, a wife, a granddaughter, a mother-in-law?
No,
bro, he cannot have a son, because for you to have a son, you have to have a mate.
You have to have.
Like I thought Fawad really wanted to have this discussion with Avery. You done walked right into the trap that Avery set. You idiot. You're giving Avery the answer that he wants you to give him. Because now look what he's going to do to you. Watch what Avery's getting. Like, that was probably out of every Muslim on that panel, that was probably the stupidest response you could have given Avery at that point in time. Kick him off. Kicking Avery off at that point would have been better than what he just said. All right, Avery, you tell him why he's so stupid. I want everybody, look at Avery's face right now. Avery didn't know he was actually going to do this. I don't think he did. I think Fawad actually surprised Avery in this. Avery's like, all right, if you want, yeah, all right, let me give it to you then. If that's what you want, that's what you're gonna get.
Mary was God's mate.
Just like how your parents had sex, and that produced you. You need something carnal behind it.
Absolutely. So going to Fawad's point, just to Fawad's point, I heard everything you said. Okay, so just like me, I'm human. I need a mate to have children, right? You guys, we all need mates to have children. Allah uses this logic to refute the humans who are saying how just
a mother.
So what I'm going to do is I think that this is a perfect time to end part 1, but I'm going to do it after Avery gives this explanation of the verse. So what we're going to do is we're probably going to do about 10 more minutes of the live stream, but this is the most important thing. I need everybody to listen right here. What Avery's about to say is one of the whole reasons why he went here in the first place in the original question. So when Avery came in with this question, this is where he wanted to go. And they finally gave him the ability to go there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to let Avery break it down and explain why. I will do it again afterwards so we can get the full meaning behind it here. All right, Avery. Why did you set the trap? Why did he, you did set the trap. He done stepped in the trap. Now reveal the trap for them, Avery.
Law,
No,
he cannot have a son because for you to have a son, you have to have a mate.
He admitted
have sex.
Mary was God's mate.
Just like how your parents had sex, and that produced you. You need something carnal behind it.
Absolutely. So going to Fawad's point, to Fawad's point, I heard everything you said. Okay, so just like me, I'm human. I need a mate to have children, right? You guys, we all need mates to have children. Allah uses this logic to refute the humans who are saying that he has children. He uses this logic, applies it to himself to refute the idea that he has a son. Because
he creates things, just like your first Colossians 15 says.
Exactly. Let me back that up one more time, and let's have Sheikh Logic break that down for you one more time. So tell us about it, Sheikh.
Sex, and that produced you. You need something carnal behind it.
Absolutely. So going to Fawad's point, to Fawad's point, I heard everything you said. Okay, so just like me, I'm human. I need a mate to have children, right? You guys, we all need mates to have children. Allah uses this logic to refute the humans who are saying that he has children. He uses this logic, applies it to himself to refute the idea that he has a son. Because
he creates things, just like your first Colossians 15 says.
And that is the whole problem with Muslims in that verse right there. That verse right there, and Avery is 100% correct. Allah takes the understanding that we have of how someone procreates to have a child and then implores that to himself by saying that very method that is used, I can't. He needs something. He is dependent upon something. Bart, I'm not sure if you're talking to Chloe. Let's see here. Yeah, Bart, don't worry about that. Chloe knows probably more about that than before. I'm not gonna, and I'll just mention this to you, Bart. I'm not going to use Logic. I'm not going to use anybody else for my own finances. I know that you said earlier that I should be sitting on Logic's live stream with them all the time. I don't have to. But I'm welcome to sit on Logic's live stream whenever I want to. If I have the day off, all I got to do is message Logic and be like, hey, man, what's up? Can I show up with you today? He'd be like, yeah, here's the link. No problem. Even if I didn't, if I just clicked the link, and I showed up, I would have went to there as well. But I'm not going to clout ride off of my brother just to try to get subscribers and views. That's not me. That will never be me. I will get the subscribers because of the ministry. Does Logic help me? 100% he helps me. And I appreciate all the help that Logic gives me. In even just the information that he gives, like, you guys don't realize how much I talk to Logic on a base. Like, I bet you there's 100 messages in there just today of me and him talking back and forth. So I appreciate everything that all my brothers and sisters do for me out there. But I would never try to clout ride off of their name to try to be them. Because I'm me and they're them. And that's what makes them special, and that's what makes me special. They love me for me, and I love them for them. And that's just the way I like to keep. Hey, if I don't have a full-time ministry, so be it. I'm good with it. I'll go live once a week. I have no problem with that. But I'll never use Logic to try to get myself a full-time ministry. That just would never happen. So don't think like that, and please don't put those type of things into the chat ever again, all right? And we'll just leave it at that. We won't talk about it anymore. All right, Bart? But with saying that, y'all, today's reaction, it gives me happiness to do this. It excites me to do this. Like when Logic was on his live stream, I bet you he could show you his phone. And I was thanking him mid-debate when he was on Hamza's Den. I was like, brother, thank you so much for giving me this content, because he knew I was going to do a review of this. Now, I know that we only did about 20 minutes of the review, but it's about a 40-minute thing. And again, I don't have a lot of time here and there, but I try to get in here when I can. Now, this next couple weeks, as I said before, I do have a lot of days off. I am off for the next couple of weeks, so I'm going to try to be on here every day. Y'all going to get sick of this mug up on here, because I'm going to be live every day. I'm going to be on video every day. We'll be doing something every day over here on One Way Apologetics. But tomorrow, we're going to do part 2 of GodLogic cooking Hamza's Den. When you can walk in to what they believe is a den of lions, and when you leave, it's like a den of kittens, what does that remind you of? Just think. Who has walked in, or who is in the den of lions and did not get harmed? Daniel, right? Only by the power of God can somebody walk into that type of situation and control the situation. That's how you know when somebody is walking in the Spirit, when they're able to go into the depths of hell and they can teach while doing it, then you know you're ready. Then you know you're ready to, and this is why I love reviewing GodLogic's content, because it's the patience that he has, the understanding that he has, the knowledge that he has, and just the love for people that he has. Those 4 criteria right there make him one of the best apologists in Christianity today. And that's why I love highlighting certain debates, especially Logic, when he's doing his thing. So, hey, if y'all got nothing better to do on a Sunday before football, because I'll be on before, today's. So tomorrow, before football, I'll be live with part 2 of Avery versus Hamza. So y'all need to stop by tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for part 2. And let's see Avery finish off these Muslims. And let's end this live stream the way I normally do. There's only one God, y'all, and that is the true triune God of Scripture. Abortion is murder, and there's only one way to paradise, y'all. That is through our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. God bless you, and y'all have a wonderful night, and I'll see y'all tomorrow for part 2. God bless.